Hey, what's up, guys? This is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. Now, I was just asked a great question by my employee that, hey, his dad owns a bakery, and they could ship things and mail things around the country, but how do they monetize that? So I'm going to go through how a blog can help you monetize your products and services, right? So I think we can all come to an agreement that more traffic will just generally mean more sales. If you took the same restaurant in a small town, Bayport, where I live, and you picked it up, regardless of the views in the water and the cost stayed the same, and you put it in Times Square, the one in Times Square is going to do far more business, it's going to be way busier, and it's going to make more money, right? You have a higher volume of potential people that could buy. Because you have a higher potential amount of people that could buy, you're going to have higher sales because somebody is just going to buy it. Just law of numbers. If you're in sales, you understand that there's, the better your numbers, the more sales you're going to have. It's a numbers game. That's all this is a numbers game. But he's curious now, how do I get more sales for my bakery, right? How do I get cakes to be delivered from blogs, right? So you want to have a couple blogs, and you're going to have blogs that will bring in a lot of traffic. So these are going to be, if you watch Income School's channel, they're called response blogs, right? So we're going to call this a response. Right, you're responding to somebody's question. You're answering somebody's question. Just like I'm answering his question right now, this is exactly what you could do. You're writing a response post about that thing. So somebody might be Googling something along the lines of, can I get cake delivered to my house? I know it sounds kind of crazy, but somebody might be doing that. So maybe that's a blog post that you're going to do, right? We're going to do cake. Right? Can cake come to your house? Well, right in there, you could put like, hey, if you're interested in cakes, you could just drop it in right there or right at the end of the blog and let people know, hey, if you're interested in getting a cake delivered, or can cakes be shipped around the country, right? That's a great blog to write because people are already interested in cake and they're curious to know if it can be shipped. Now, that might be a competitive area, so maybe that's not the best blog to start with, but you might be able to get blogs starting over here and going over here. So you might start with, can I ship a wedding cake? Right? Somebody might be interested, can you ship a wedding cake? Right? Well, maybe they don't want a wedding cake today, or maybe they want to try your cake before they buy the wedding cake. So maybe they want to learn about, can you ship a wedding cake? I don't know if you could ship a wedding cake. Can you ship a wedding cake?
No.
You can't ship a wedding cake. There you go. But now you could write a whole blog post about why you can't ship a wedding cake. It could get damaged in the mail. It might not sit right. There's a variety of different reasons. But somebody out there might be Googling that thing. They're interested in cake. There's other questions that people are going to be asking as well. If we go back to wedding cakes, what happens if my wedding cake gets dropped? What happens if my wedding cake doesn't show up on time? These are all really good questions. Same thing about cakes, right? Can cakes be shipped online? What happens if my cake that got shipped online breaks, right? And if you start writing all of these pieces of content about cake, right, people are going to be interested in that. Now you're getting their eyeballs and potentially making sales. You can't write a blog that says the best limoncello cake there is because there's thousands of limoncello cakes, right? But if you answer somebody's question about a cake, so how long does it take to ship a cake to my house, is a great blog, right? Time, right, for cake, right? And you could say, hey, by the way, if you live, because we're over here on Long Island, if you live in California, it's going to take 4 days or 3 days to get to your house. Will my cake be fresh? It'll take 5 days to get to your house, right? Will my cake be fresh if it's in the mail too long? Right? These are all really good questions that you could write blog posts about. How long does it take to order a cake online? Right? More time questions. Is a cake ordered online as fresh as a bakery cake, right? How do I know that my cake is going to be good when it arrives to my house? Right? These are all really good blog posts that you could start writing to build traffic. Now from there, and you build all these different blogs, you're probably wondering, well, how do I sell this, right? They're all going to lead back to your product page. And I apologize, my handwriting is terrible. Right? They're all going to your product page. So every single one is, if you're interested in getting a hold of cakes, you're pointing them over here. If you want to talk about a new cake that you're offering, or a new cake that you've made that could be shipped, or how to figure out if a cake should even be shipped, right? If it has the right ingredients in it, if it doesn't have anything raw in it, if it doesn't have anything that can go bad in it, if it has to be frozen, does your cake need to be frozen when it gets shipped, right? These are all really good questions. And all of them are going to point back to your product page asking if they want to buy. Now, if you're really smart, you're also going to include somewhere in here a newsletter option. And that should go somewhere in the middle of all of these blogs before you get back to the product page. Hey, if you want to join our newsletter, you're interested in learning more about cakes and how they get delivered to your house, or questions that you might have about cakes being shipped, this is a great spot. Now, you might be thinking, well, what if I want to ship cookies, right? Well, sure, you can ship cookies. I've gotten cookies shipped, right? You can write blogs and in here bring people out, and I know it's a lot of, drawings and stuff like that, but you might be able to write another blog about cookies. And that blog about cookies can also lead to a different part of the product page that talks about cookies. Can cookies get shipped, right? Maybe they were interested about cake, but they want to know about cookies, but they just thought about cake because that was the first thing they thought of and it wasn't about cookies, right? Or your cake blog is getting way more traffic than your cookie blog. So if that's the case, use the cake blog and say, hey, if you're interested in learning more about cookie delivery and cookie shipments, here's your option right here. Here's everything you want to know about cookie deliveries. And then at the end of your cookies, you're going to have that point back to your product page and allow people to buy your products. Now, this relates to literally anybody that sells a physical product. I don't care if you sell hats. I don't care if you sell markers. I don't care if you sell mice for computers. Whatever you're selling, if you're building that traffic correctly and answering people's questions that they have on a regular basis, it doesn't matter what product you sell, you're going to be able to sell that product. You just want to make sure you stay in your industry and stay in your niche. You don't want to go all over the place with questions about like, hey, how do I start a bakery, right? You don't want that. If your goal is to sell products, you want to talk all about products, right? How to identify a good bakery is a great blog, but how do I start a bakery would make no sense in any of this stuff. So just make sure that the blogs you're writing are related to the item that you're trying to sell or items you're trying to sell, and that'll ultimately drive traffic down to have people buy. So I hope this video helps. I hope this answers all the questions that you guys may have. Does it answer your question?
Yes, it does.
There you go. So that answers this question, but it doesn't matter if it's cakes, it doesn't matter if it's dry erase markers, hats, whatever it is. If you sell a product that somebody might want and you write really good blogs about it and you answer every question they might have, they're going to buy whatever you're offering. It's very unlikely that they're going to read all of this content and go call up a different local bakery and say, can you ship cookies? Now, it may very well happen, and that's totally fine. But you might even think of saying like, hey, in all of these, maybe they want packages for cookies. Maybe they want cute boxes to present their friends. And maybe it's something you don't sell. You can do Amazon links to other products. You can partner up with another bakery or a bakery supply company that ships out different things. Maybe it's confectionate sugar. Hey, the best confectionate sugar for your at-home cake. Like things like that somebody might be able to buy where maybe you don't monetize directly from the product, but they go to Amazon and buy and you get commission or something like that. So I hope this video helps. If it does, hit the like button. Leave a comment down below. If you sell baked goods, by the way, you better subscribe because that's like just weird. But also, appreciate it. I hope you guys do this. I hope you guys make some money on it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, bye.